Hi guys. So I'm 23 weeks, one day today, and I am going to what we call the stairs. Where we live at, we have the London Bridge, and people use the stairs. It connects the top of the bridge to the bottom of the bridge where the channel is. It's a nice little, just kind of like water walkway that you can walk along. It's real nice, especially in the winter when it's not 98 degrees at 7:30 in the morning. So I've talked about, we've talked about exercise in the last video or the video before, and it's really important to me. So I keep trying to keep myself healthy. I'm going to keep trying to keep myself healthy. Except it's so hard. I said it before, I was not healthy with my other pregnancies. I was young and I was stupid and I lived on Burger King. Exercise, oh my God, no. And this time I'm older. My body doesn't respond the way, and I've noticed that. And I am just finding it so difficult to find the motivation and the energy to actually do this stuff. So my girlfriend asked me if I wanted to do the stairs last week. She was like, holy cow, it's way too hot for this, and you sound like you're gonna die. Because I did. I sounded like, just not even an exaggeration, you guys. I sounded like I was in respiratory distress. I wasn't in pain. I didn't feel short of breath. It's just I was breathing so hard. So I am attempting to increase my cardiac threshold and my cardiac ability to maintain this, because I'm so worried that as I go on and as I get closer to delivery and getting into labor, that I'm just not going to be able to tolerate it. And that's concerning for me. I don't like it. I keep telling myself it has to be because of the medications, because the medications put on like 20 pounds before transfer. So like 20 pounds in 2 months, basically. I was 25 pounds heavier at my first regular OB appointment than I was when I started the medications, and I was 11 weeks. I have already at 23 weeks reached my delivery weight with my largest and my last child. And I don't like that. It makes me feel very unhealthy. I'm not, or at least I don't feel like I am eating unhealthy stuff. I'm not spending a lot of time at buffets or a lot of time at fast food restaurants. The heartburn has essentially stopped. The nausea has stopped. I feel a lot better. I'm drinking a lot more water. I have little bouts of indigestion. So I don't know if maybe that was it, because there was only certain stuff I could eat and feel okay with, or what. But I keep telling myself it has to be the meds, but at this point, I don't think it's the meds. Maybe the meds just put on the weight, and the weight is what's giving me an issue. But either way, I feel super unhealthy and super uncomfortable in my own body, and I don't like it. I actually told my husband the other day, I said, I really went into this thinking, oh my gosh, I love pregnancy so much. But I really think I just liked the excitement, because I am not enjoying this pregnancy like I thought I would. Because I really did not mind my other pregnancies. I didn't feel like they were horrible. So I just feel very not myself this time. And I think most of it is because I'm unhappy with my health, not my weight, my health. And I don't feel as healthy as I did. I'm still having those, not attacks, but like when I walk down the hallway at work a little too fast, it makes me have to almost kind of catch my breath a little bit. I've addressed it with my physician. He says it's normal. He says it's fine. There's no signs of distress. I'm okay. But I'm really surprised at it. And I'd like to believe that it's residual from medications, even though it's been 12 weeks since we stopped medications. I think the weight that the medications put on before we even got to like a pregnant part where really you look pregnant, that first trimester, you shouldn't be putting on 15 pounds. I think that's really having an effect on me. So I'm going to try to run the stairs again. I'm not going to die. I did it yesterday. And while it was a nice workout, my calves are a little bit sore today. I didn't feel like I was going to die, but I also paced myself a little bit differently and didn't try to push it like I normally would have before I got pregnant. So I'm going to keep doing that, because so far it's the easiest thing for me to do. That is the most effective. So here I go. But I'm really, I don't like this. I don't like this feeling like I'm unhealthy. So I will see you guys soon. Okay, so all done. I only did 6 up and downs, and this is what I sounded like after the second one. I can still talk. I don't feel pain. I couldn't do any more, but I feel no pain. But I am trying, and that's important, right? So, accomplished for the day. Yeah, man. It's easier today than it was yesterday, though, that's for sure. I think maybe yesterday I did go a little bit, I tried to push a little bit more than I did today. And I feel better today than I did yesterday. Because yesterday after 2, I was like, way worse than this. So, it was only about maybe 15 minutes I spent on it, but it was enough. So, keep moving, girls. Keep moving.
Morning, everybody. This is our 25-week update. So yesterday I was 25 weeks. I had my 25-week appointment, and everything's fine. They didn't do much. They listened to the baby. They did my vitals like normal. Asked me if I had any problems, which is where the longest appointment of the year started. I don't have any problems per se. Like, I'm not bleeding. I'm not having any cramping. Baby's moving fine. He looks great. But I have noticed a couple of things. And it, bear in mind again, please, that it's been 12 years since I've had a baby. Even though I am around pregnant women all the time, it's a little bit different when the changes happen to your body, especially after you know more stuff about how the body works. When I had my kids before, I was 21 when I had my last, and I was not a nurse. So there's things I noticed this time that maybe I wouldn't have noticed last time, and or maybe have forgotten, not 100%, but either way I am noticing it. So I have some difference in smells from my downstairs. And I was like, I wasn't concerned about it, but I'm like, why is it doing that? Why does it smell different than normal? And after talking to the doctor, she says, I think it's just hormones. And she says, it's totally normal for it to change the way it smells. Totally personal, TMI, sorry. But it caught my attention. So I was like, well, I'll just ask. It's not gonna hurt to ask. So I did see a different doctor this time. Normally I see Dr. Gurley, who is a male physician. This time I saw Dr. Rosenbaum, who is a female physician. Real glad I did. It was just a fluke in the scheduling, and I'm so glad I did, because I do not want to talk about that stuff with my physician. You have to, but yeah, no, he's more a friend kind of than he is my physician sometimes. So also I have noticed I haven't noticed, other people have noticed. I talked about it early on, about the weight gain and how hard it was for me to exercise, and how it just was just a lot of work, and how it changed my cardiac endurance, and how I was unable to do a lot of things I could do before. And I assumed that it would stop once we stopped medications, that 10 weeks, to give it some time, the medication effects would wear off, and we would maybe be a little bit easier on things. The weight gain wouldn't be so rapid, and it hasn't. I've only gained 10 pounds, I think, since my first doctor's appointment at 11 weeks or 10 weeks, something like that. But I'm still having that, I hate to call it difficulty breathing, because I don't feel like I'm having a difficult time breathing. I don't feel short of breath. I sound short of breath. So if I talk too much after I do this video, I'll have to sit and catch my breath a little bit, because it's getting harder to talk. It's getting harder to walk and talk. It's hard to walk upstairs without sounding extremely winded. There's absolutely no way I could do any type of running or cardio training. I was doing the stairs because I thought, okay, it's easy to do cardiac and a little bit of strength training going upstairs and downstairs. And I found myself getting dizzy doing that. So I stopped, because I don't want to pass out halfway down the stairs and tumble down the stairs. So I've stopped doing that, and essentially it's halted all exercise ability just in the last few weeks. I mean, it hasn't been that long since I posted the exercise video, or even since I exercised last. I mean, if I do exercise, I exercise, and then I do want to exercise, and then I have to sit down for a few minutes and catch my breath and make myself feel better. And that's not okay with me. And I chalked it up to medications. It's just these medications because, as we've seen with both transfers, that I put on quite a bit of weight, and it changes how my body functions so much. So I kept chalking it up to that, but I'm 15 weeks out for medications. I can't chalk it up to it anymore. So really what got my attention and what made me bring it up to my doctor is I had a patient last week ask me if I needed to sit down. We were transferring from one room to another, and she knew I was pregnant, and she looked at me with concern, and she said, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she goes, "I think you need to sit down. Are you sure you don't need to sit down?" And I said, "Oh, no, I always sound like this." The only way to describe it is essentially I sound like an obese person who has a hard time breathing. They go like this. I don't feel in distress. I don't feel like I'm short of breath. I don't feel like I'm working for it. My heart does not feel weird. I don't feel any arrhythmias, like funky heartbeats that are not normal for me in pregnancy. I don't feel any different than I normally do, except for when I exercise, because it does cause some dizziness and spots before my eyes. So I feel fine. Like, I mean, even just in general, I feel really good. The heartburn has, for the most part, gone away. Like, there's a few things that I've noticed I really can't eat tomatoes. I mean, but everything else, I feel fine. And so I didn't really want to bring it up, but then my patient said something, and then I had a couple girls at work asked me if I needed to sit down, and like, "Dude, what's wrong with you? Like, I can't walk up the steps and walk to my car." I was walking my patient to her room the other day and talking to her, and I had to sit down after I was talking to her when we got to the room, because just the standing after talking, I needed to sit down and make it a little bit easier to get the oxygen where it needed to be. So I brought this up to them, and I told them that. I said, "I don't feel like I'm in distress. I don't feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable when I exercise." And explained to them, before I started this, I ran often and almost daily. Every day I was home, when I was running 3 miles in about 30 minutes with my 2 boxers, which in and of itself is just a workout. And now I can't even walk my dogs around the block because it's too much. So she said it's not going to hurt to get an echo. So she wants to do an echo. She let Dr. Growley know. They're real good. They work together, obviously, so they're really good friends. And she told him, and he agrees. And so we're going to do an echo. And she does not think anything's wrong. Dr. Growley does not think anything's wrong. I don't think anything's wrong. The best we can figure at this point is that it was such a rapid weight gain in the beginning that my body didn't have time to acclimate, and then we throw a pregnancy in on top of it. And as the pregnancy is growing, because there was a time period where I was kind of okay, and then it started getting worse again, and that's when I stopped exercising. But the belly is growing, and it's getting bigger. So I didn't a certain level of shortness of breath is expected in pregnancy, because as the uterus expands up, your diaphragm can't pull down like it's supposed to. So your accessory muscles have to go like this. And so it makes you look and sound like you're working a little bit harder, but that's not the case. And I'm not that big yet. In reality, I still kind of look like I ate too much of the buffet, which I might have last night, but that's okay. No, I'm just starting to get to that point where people are like, "Yeah, I really think she's pregnant." So it's not big enough yet that I can remember with my other kids, once I got really big, I was like, "All right, sit with my legs open chest," and sitting like this, trying to get that air in, just trying to give it as much room as possible. I'm not to that point yet. Like, I can still sit comfortably in just a regular sitting position. There's very little accommodation going on for it as of yet. Nothing that I feel explains this shortness of breath. So like I said, they think it's fine. I think it's fine. We think it's from the weight gain in the beginning of pregnancy, but they said just to be safe, because we would hate for something to happen and it'd be more. So I'm going to get an echo, and they did some lab work yesterday, and then we're going to see what the echo says. And she says, if the echo's fine, then basically we're good. Don't worry about it. It's probably because you just gained so much weight. And I told her it's because I'm fat, right? And she goes, "You're not fat." She thought that was really funny, but yeah, nobody's really concerned about it. I did tell my agency, and I didn't really know how to approach it with my parents, because I didn't want to tell them. And with the language barrier, I was worried it would kind of sound more serious in translation than I think it is, and that my medical team thinks it is. Excuse me. So I didn't want to talk to my parents until I had talked to my agency, and so they think we should wait until we get the echo results to say anything, because we don't want I didn't want to worry them unnecessarily, but at the same time I didn't want to not keep information from anyone. So because I contemplated not saying anything, and I thought that's not very responsible. I need to say something to someone, because on a second note, I mean, bills come in. If there's copays with this, they're gonna be like, why is she seeing an echo person, or what's all this extra lab work, or whatever. I mean, but they think, especially given that I feel okay and I don't have any distress and I'm feeling all right, and it's more precautionary, that we should wait to tell the parents until after we hear the results. And if the results come back, then we'll inform them. I'll be honest, that kind of sits kind of sideways with me. I feel like I'm being deceitful. But that was not my first choice. I simply brought my agency in so that they were aware, and because my parents are Chinese and the owner of the company speaks Chinese fluently, and the parents don't speak English, I felt I needed somebody who spoke both languages to help to kind of translate. I'll be honest, he's not my first choice to translate. His English is good, but it's not great. I really would have preferred someone who has great English and great Chinese, but he's what I got. So, but it does sit kind of sideways with me. I just feel like I'm being kind of sketchy, and it makes me a little nervous to not say anything. I feel like nope, go away please.
What?
Go away please.
Okay.
I feel like I'm not giving them all the information, and I don't like that. I want them to be in the loop, because I mean, I would hate to have something come of this and then have this, oh, by the way, Ginger's gonna go to a cardiologist or something like that. I don't think that's gonna happen, but if it did, I mean, we have to be prepared, and I don't want something to happen and then, oh, sorry, Ginger's heart is really sick and she's gonna deliver this baby at 28 weeks or something like that, and just spring it on them like that. I feel like, time to prepare, but at the same time, I don't want to freak them out. So I asked to bring my agency owner in, because he has the Chinese, and he understands, and he gets it, and he thinks it's best that we just not say anything just yet until we get the results back. So I guess that's what we're gonna do. I told my husband last night, I'm like, honestly, if they spoke English, I wouldn't have even went through the agency. I would have just told my parents. I would have just gone there, but they don't, so I couldn't. Today I am going here shortly. Let's see, it is 6:41. I'm gonna leave just a minute and go get my blood sugar done. I'm not excited about this. This is where you get stabbed in the arm and they take some blood, and then you drink that horrible orange drink, or at least it was orange when I did it last, and you're not allowed to eat anything, so you have to drink this big old sugar syrup drink and chug it down, and then you have to come back in an hour and they stab you again, and they have to come back in another hour and they stab you again. I had a hard time with this with all of my pregnancies, mainly because I just cannot tolerate that much sugar in my stomach when it's empty like this. I think my first time I puked it all back up, and then my last time I think I got sick from it too. So we will see. I'm going there right now. I'll try and make a little video of it. So. All right. See you later. This is what I have to drink. It's not orange soda, but oh, it is orange. It's orange. 75 grams of sugar. It's like binge drinking at the bar. Mm-hmm. You gotta just chug it back.
So, got anything fun planned for your weekend? Oh, that's always nice. I'm going to yard sale this weekend, so that's just going to be lots of fun.
much longer do I have?
How much longer? You have 2 minutes.
Fuck. Jesus Christ. I think the first time I did this,
Sure.
it was twice the size of this. It was huge.
Yeah.
It was huge. And it was orange colored. So when it came back up, it was not pretty. At all.
Now, did anyone tell you can sip on water, which helps?
That was 16 years ago.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
While you're doing this test, sip on water. It helps keep you from feeling that yucky.
Okay. I asked him yesterday at the doctor's office, because my doctor's in Las Vegas, if I could count my bagel and cream cheese and yogurt as my glucose. They said no.
Okay, so I can't leave. I have to stay here for the full 2 hours of this thing. So essentially, they took my blood. I drank that ridiculous bottle of crap. I had 5 minutes to get it in. I made it in like 30 seconds to spare, but it's a lot of sugar on an empty stomach. So we'll see. The first time I ever had to do this exam with my very first pregnancy, I got real sick and I puked it all back up. Last time I think I felt real icky afterwards also. Oh, excuse me. And it's making me more burpy than normal. But essentially I have to sit here for the next 2 hours. And then I'm going to get another lab draw in an hour. And then I'll have one more at 2 hours. And then I'm going to go get some food. Some protein in my stomach because I've got enough sugar going through my body. You can feel it. You can feel it when it hits your stomach. Like within maybe a minute or two, I could feel it. It's almost like I told her, I said, oh, well, you heard me, like shoot like a binge drinking. You can just feel it like start coursing through your veins. It's gross and it's uncomfortable. So we'll see. Here we go. Okay, so I'm done. 2 hours of it. Never again. I don't think so. Out of every single thing I've had to do, this will be the one that prevents me from doing another one of these surrogacies. Oh my God. That stuff just tastes horrible and it makes you feel like crap. Like I don't like 15 cups of triple espresso. It's horrible. The first hour was the roughest because it makes you feel real jittery and shaky, and then the second hour wasn't so bad. So the lab lady was surprised I was doing a 2 hour. I'm gonna have a talk with my doctor and find out why in the world Home Skillet sent me for a 2 hour instead of a 1 hour. Because normally they send you for a 1 hour, and then if you fail the 1 hour, they send you for a 3 hour. Home Skillet sent me for a 2 hour. I had to get poked 3 times. What's wrong with him? I'm gonna have to ask about this. I don't know. So that's that, but it's done. I'm gonna go stuff myself with some carne asada right now because I figured protein to balance the sugar, right? And then I'm gonna go to the grocery store and buy some salmon and have some salmon for dinner. So that's that. Other than that, everything's good. So there's your 25-week update. However, I have had some requests on the comment feed lately. I know everybody wants bump pictures. I am going to keep those to myself for right now. Just comfort level. I am not comfortable in my body whatsoever at the moment, and I'm definitely not comfortable sharing those right now. I know I can talk about all kinds of weird stuff about vaginas, but I can't show you how chubby I've gotten. So I'm going to keep those to myself. And then there was a comment a while back, and I'm so sorry to the gal. I did not get to respond about pain medication and labor and all that, but you gave me a real good topic for my next video. So I think next video at some point I will discuss what I was explained and my understanding of how laboring, pain management in labor, and things like that are handled contract-wise versus care-wise. So look forward to that. Maybe I'll post it a little bit later today or whatnot, but that's that. So I will see you guys next time. My next appointment is in 4 weeks. I'll be 29 weeks at that time. Excuse me, that juice stuff I drank makes me real burpy, like even more than normal.
I'll be 29 weeks. I mean, oh my gosh, I feel like it's flying by already. The big news is this week at 25 weeks, the baby is considered viable. So technically it can live on its own outside of me. However, we don't want to see that until baby's way older, but only 15 whole weeks to go, you guys. Dun, dun, dun. I'm guessing after my next appointment, I'll start the 2-week appointments. Because I feel like around 28 to 30-ish weeks is when those start. It's been a hot minute, but I think that sounds right. So we'll see. All right, guys, bye.